going to receive first, and then I respond after the alchemy happened within me. Hello, beautiful one. Today, I want to talk to you about the dynamic that my client Melinda had been experiencing with her back then not partner yet, who now is her partner, and a very simple yet so effective trick that we implemented together that shifted the whole dynamic within the relationship for her and made it so that her now partner committed to a long-term relationship with her. Although before that work that Melinda dove into with me together, this man said he wasn't even ready for a long-term relationship. And that is something that shifted right there within our work because of the different energetics that are at play now within their dynamic, because of this shift that I'm going to talk about in this video. And that after this video, you can go and implement this shift right away in your own life and relationship and see how that affects your relationship dynamic with your masculine partner. And so the very slight and small shift that wasn't even into the deep work yet, that was just really a small shift, but we really anchored this one in. It made all the difference for Melinda and her relationship. And that was stepping consciously into true feminine receivership. Because for a man, and for a masculine man especially, it is so important to be fully received. He might not know this consciously, but every man that I meet and every man that is in a relationship with a woman that I work with reacts in that way. They want to be received, and it makes them feel so good and so at home. It creates this cozy feeling, this powerful feeling of being the king and being at home, arriving at home with this wonderful woman that is his. It is such a good feeling for a man to be fully received with all of who he is, with his movement, his action, his penetration into the world, to be received in all of that which he is, because the wound for the masculine is that he's not enough. And when he is fully received by you, you're giving him such a great gift that he might not even have ever received before, where he feels like he is enough. And he is taken just as he is, and he's fully received, like he arrives with all that he is within you. And that is just very magical and profound what happens energetically when you do that. And so what happened in this very tense dynamic that Melinda had going on with her partner in her relationship, or he wasn't even her partner yet, but in that situationship, I'd say, was that there were constant kind of dynamics of uneasiness, of small, I wouldn't say fights, but they both couldn't relax into the relationship. They both didn't feel like, out breath, yes, I'm here with you. It was just this constant trying to get, this constant, oh no, this shouldn't happen. There was so much tenseness and so much control in this dynamic. And that essentially was part of the reason why he kept pulling away from her. And that was also a very big reason why he said he didn't want to commit. Because yes, he did say he isn't ready for commitment in general, and he meant it that way. But it is, for a lot of men, it is playing out that they associate the relationship to a woman, that they associate commitment with this tenseness, with lack of freedom, lack of peace, the end of peace of mind, the end of the feeling that he actually seeks with you, which is fully arriving at home, you being his sanctuary. And so Melinda's partner, he didn't have that feeling at all within the relationship, and her now consciously stepping into true receivership, which meant that was a lot of capacity, that was a lot of energetic work for her. And that is the exact work that I will teach you throughout the Love Goddess program, beside many other energetic changes and shifts that really elevate you into that goddess frequency, which make you so irresistible. But in this capacity work, she essentially decided to step into receiving him no matter what. Because before, And that is the point here. She made receiving him conditional on what he was doing. So if he was showing up in a way that she liked, she wanted to fully receive him. Although, think about that and feel into this. Because there is a cap to how deeply you can receive anyone, quite frankly, but your partner, when you are not willing to also receive the parts that you dislike. Feel into this, when you are in an energy of trying to decide, do I want to let this in? Is this right for me or is it not? You are not in full receivership. So as long as you are still in this kind of control, which this is, you aren't fully receiving him. And so if you only want to receive the good parts, quote unquote, you will never receive him as deeply. You just never will. And he feels that you don't receive him and that you are in this kind of waiting position, like, is it safe? Is it good? Is it okay? Okay, do we take him in? Do I say yes? Do we ride the wave or don't we? And it just takes this very conscious decision from a woman to have the greatness to say, no, I am fully receiving you. This doesn't mean like I'm gonna stay in situations that aren't good for me. It doesn't mean like I'm going to endure something that isn't right. It just means, and this is so important, and this is where women mess this up, it just means I'm going to receive first. And then I respond after the alchemy happened within me. And this is how a woman on the goddess frequency operates. She is not reactive. She's not like, what is my next move? Kind of, because this is the masculine. He's like, what is the next move? And he also, like the divine masculine, does that from presence, from deep consciousness, from being anchored. Like he doesn't need to move now or fast. He can. He doesn't need to. But the woman, she's all about receiving. For the feminine, it is not so much about, oh, what is my next move? It is, I am penetrated by life. I receive. I let in. And in that intake, something happens inside of me energetically. Like the energy that I receive, receiving him, there is like a new energy entering my space, and it kind of merges with the energy that is already inside of me. And there is some alchemy taking place. And it is all about the surrender. And I teach you deeper about this alchemy in the Love Goddess program, because for becoming a love goddess, you need to become a master of this kind of energetic alchemy. This is the realm in which you operate, okay? But essentially, we take in this energy, and there's a process that is like pregnancy, where something happens inside of you, but it is not your active doing. It is your allowance of the process that makes it so that new energy is born. And from that new energy, there comes a response. And it doesn't always need to be, oh, he says something, so I need to say something. Oh, he does that, and now I do that, and that's my response. The response could be completely energetically only. It could be you not saying a thing. There are very powerful responses for the feminine, and you'll learn all about this in Love Goddess. They're very powerful responses where you don't say a word, but something still responds, and it is about this response. But in this work with Melinda, we haven't even gotten to the place where it was all so much about the response and the alchemy until the response. It was only that first step of fully receiving first, of fully letting in, energetically opening to fully receive him, and therefore to fully receive life. Because you cannot selectively receive, you see. You have to fully receive this person, this man, like he is. And the secret trick about this, like how do I receive, Linda, is the question that I'm getting. The secret trick to really step into divine feminine receivership and to become this incredible, open, receptive woman that is so delicious for a man to be with, and that is also so comfortable to be with, because of that open intaking energy instead of hardness, instead of forward pushing. You feel the difference, is that you gotta receive yourself first. Because women try to receive more, also sexually, from their partner. They try to receive more from life. And they're like, Linda, I cannot receive more. Like, I cannot let this in. You need to let yourself in first. Your own energy, which then is also part of this divine alchemy, this needs to be received first. This needs to land first. You need to be able to fully receive yourself first. And I will teach you exactly how to do this in the Love Goddess program, but you can practice this right now from me just saying this. Feeling the energy that you are. In this moment, your body, your whole body. And now receiving all that you are. Which means, receiving means to take in, to let it land, to allow it. Right now. All of it. And this is like a muscle. You need to train this capacity. This is why it is so much about energetic capacity to become a love goddess. To train the capacity to fully receive yourself always on an ongoing basis. And from that anchored in and embodied receivership that you step into, you will receive him and practice that and see how things change like quickly. You will see how you will be able to receive your guy so much deeper. Like, he will notice a difference. He might not know what it is, and he doesn't need to, but he will notice a difference. He will feel received on a whole different level, and not only sexually, but of course also sexually. Like, this makes such a huge difference. And the trick and the secret is, you gotta receive yourself first. You cannot receive anything else when you haven't fully received yourself. So this is the practice, to be in constant receivership with yourself. And when you tune into a mode of constant receivership with yourself, and you need to stew in that, you need to practice longer than like for 10 or 20 minutes. You need to practice over hours throughout your day. You need to take this through your normal day, through your everyday life. And when you have a few hours, a few days even of fully practicing this receivership, your energy gets turned around. Like literally, it gets turned around. This also highly affects your magnetism and how you attract things in your life. Because usually people are running like this. Forward masculine, forward moving energy all the time, trying to make the right move. And this is why you feel so uncomfortable, because you're doing this, but you're not actually naturally doing this. Like, you are not choosing this masculine energy because right now you just want to be in your masculine, which is fine. And which is not a hindrance for a relationship with a deep masculine man. Also needs to be debunked at this point in time, because many women think they need to be feminine all the time. No. But the masculine energy of like, what is the right response? It is like playing a football game, but really being so suspicious about like who you're playing against. It is like playing against someone, not with someone. And it is that energy, it is not your natural energy, it is not a healthy energy, because it is built on fear, it is built on control, and it's so tense, especially when a woman does that. Like, her system becomes so hard when you do this, and you will become so much softer and more accommodating when you get into that divine receivership. And this is so beautiful. And for Melinda and her relationship, that shifted the whole thing because of this small shift that she really anchored in deeply, and she practiced this on a daily basis. He suddenly feels so differently when he was with her. And all his objections that he had about committing to this relationship, it was all built on how uneasy he felt with her. And that just disappeared. And so there was no more reason for him to like, oh no, I don't want to be in a long-term relationship, because all those associations that he held, they could fall away more and more over the course of the weeks to come, because he didn't have the body experience of those being true any longer. He felt so good being with her. He felt so received. He felt like he could be who he wanted to be. He was so free, and he was received in that. That was like even a gift on top of just having his freedom and being who he is to be received in that for a man. And if you as a woman train your capacity to give that to him, and obviously you're not training this for him, because you are training this because it feels so good within your own body to be in your natural energy and to receive life, like constant lovemaking with the divine all day long. And then he becomes a part of that, and that is just so delicious. And this is the pleasure, your own pleasure, why you're doing this. But when a man sees that, and when he feels that, and when he has that, this is so special. He will never want to go when you fully have mastered this. And then besides all the other beautiful energetic shifts that I will guide you into in the Love Goddess program, your whole energy will shift. Your whole way of relating as a woman will shift. And this is how relationships, I see this over and over again, and also with my client Melinda, how relationships can shift so quickly. And all these objections, all these arguments of, oh, I don't feel it's the right timing, I don't feel blah, 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 they just drop because it wasn't about those in the first place. That was just what the mind tried to make of an energetic feeling. And when the energetic feeling is gone, the argument is just gone and things change. And things change quickly in my world. And yeah, this is the trick that I wanted to share with you. I hope this landed for you. I hope this changed something, this ignited something within you where you're going like, yes, I am stepping into that frequency. I am becoming greatness as a woman. I am becoming this elevated feminine goddess who receives on the next level. And I want you to go implement this if you join the Love Goddess program or not. I really want you to take this away, to implement this into your relationship, into your being, into your energy body, and to see the changes from only implementing one tiny shift of all of those amazing shifts that I'm going to teach you within Love Goddess. And for those of you who are already waiting for doors to open, they will tomorrow, and I'm so looking forward to that. See you there.